Hi, thanks for watching this. So this is the first video in a series that I'm calling What to Do When. What to Do When is all about dealing with those awful situations that you can find yourself in when you are a presenter. So it's my advice on how to deal with them. And the first one we're going to talk about is what to do when you have a technical problem on stage. So it could be the clicker going wrong, it could be the microphone, or it could be the screen. They are really the three most common things. So the clicker is what you use to advance your PowerPoint slides. Typically what goes wrong with this is the battery just runs out. So you'll find as a presenter you press it and nothing happens. And you're in your flow and the slide isn't changing and you start to panic. With the microphone, what tends to happen is it will crackle sometimes, especially if you've got hair touching it or a piece of clothing. Sometimes it's to do with the frequencies in the building. And a lot of the time it's just the batteries again. They just run out. And people tend to panic and they start to hit the microphone like this, making an even worse noise. And there's the screen as well. And typically with the screen, it can either just completely go blank or it will flicker uncontrollably. So they are the main three things that I'm going to focus on. And the first thing on my list of what to do when that happens is don't blame the technical crew. Believe me, the technical crew will be panicking about that for you. So these people have been employed and are being paid to make sure that the event that you're speaking at runs smoothly. And if something's going wrong, they are panicking and they will be working hard to make sure that it's rectified and that everything can carry on. So if you start blaming them as a presenter, so typically I see this happening, can't advance my slides and be saying, I don't know why this isn't working. It was working before. There's something wrong with this. I've been given a clicker that doesn't work. Is anyone who is supposed to be doing this? I don't know why this isn't working. If you have that attitude to it, it doesn't make people want to help you, really. So don't blame the crew. They will be working hard to make it work. There is backup after backup on most events. Any events that I run, there is backup after backup. But somebody will quickly change the batteries, hand you a new clicker. The screen will probably be switched off. They'll switch it back on again and it will be sorted. The microphone, again, they'll either change your microphone, give you a handheld to use in between, or they might just change your batteries. But it will be sorted is what my message is. So if you blame the technical crew, it won't make them want to sort it out for you quickly. But also if you blame the technical crew, you can look like a bit of an arse. So don't blame the technical crew. If there's a technical issue, they will be on it. They will get it sorted. Point number 2, stay calm. Don't panic. If you panic about a technical issue that happens when you're presenting on stage, that will be the only thing about your presentation that the audience will remember. They will remember you banging on your microphone, moaning about the clicker, talking about how bad the crew are, having a general panic. That is the thing that they will remember. So you must stay calm and in control, because the bigger issue that you make will become the biggest thing that they remember, okay? So you want to diminish all of that. Stay calm, stay in control. And the third thing that you want to do when there is a technical issue is prepare for that issue in advance. Now, obviously, you're not a mind reader. You don't know exactly what's going to happen. You can't predict the future. But what you can do is plan for things not going exactly how you wish them to go. If something goes wrong in your presentation, say for instance, the clicker stops working. So you're midway through a very important point that you're talking about something the audience can see on screen and the screen turns off. What you need to do as a presenter is say something like, okay, clearly we've had a bit of a technical issue there. Now, while we get that sorted, let me just really concentrate on what I was saying there. So the point I was making was, and you go over again the point that you've just made. You're saying to the audience, this is a really important point. Or you know your content so well, there might be a story that you could refer to. So you say, okay, so clearly we've got a technical issue. So before I carry on, let's just put a pause in there while we get this sorted. Now, there's a story that I've got that really relates to what I'm trying to tell you here, and you can tell that story. Now, somebody did something similar to this. His name's Steve Jobs. You've probably heard of him, and I'm going to link that video below. So there's a wonderful example of him experiencing a technical issue on stage and then dealing with it by telling a story. Now, in doing that, the audience won't even remember that the screen stopped working. The audience won't care if your microphone has been crackling or your clicker's not working. They'll just remember you for being a fantastic presenter and carrying on and telling an engaging story. They're not going to remember the issue because people accept that things go wrong, okay? You're never going to have an experience that everything runs perfectly. There will always be something. You'll forget something. A technical issue might occur, whatever. As a presenter, you need to be prepared for these things to happen. And there's a story that I do want to tell you about somebody who dealt with it perfectly quite recently on an event that I was producing. There was an opening video for this event, and a lot of money and a lot of time had gone into creating this, and there was a big reveal at the end where the presenter walked on stage, and halfway through the video playing out, something started to happen with the screen. It started to flicker, and eventually it just went off. Now, as it started to flicker, I was with the presenter who was going to be walking on stage, and I said to him, okay, we've got a technical issue. We need to put a stop in here. You need to go on stage and say we're going to have a break. So cutting across completely what this reveal was going to be and the plan. And with grace and confidence, he went on stage and said, clearly we've had a technical issue. We're going to put a stop in so we can sort this out. And while we do, why don't we have some networking time? We always say as a team, we never have enough time to talk to each other. So let's take the next 15, 20 minutes while we sort this issue out and just talk. Let's have some networking time. We brought the house lights up, we had some background music on, and it was fine. And then we sorted the technical issue out and it restarted. And what was interesting about that event is when people had to give their feedback on how that was dealt with was really positive. And some people said it was their highlight, that for them, it showed that it was fine to make mistakes, that people weren't going to be blamed, but also having that opportunity to network was fantastic as well. So technical issues will happen on stage, but it's how you deal with them as a presenter that will make the difference. Now, it's worth me saying, how do you know when the technical problem has been resolved? Well, believe me, a technical member of the crew will make it known to you. So they will step into the light, they'll make sure they can see you, and they'll give you the thumbs up, or they will come and literally whisper into your ear, we're ready to go when you're ready. So you will definitely know when it's been solved. So just to recap, what to do when you have a technical issue on stage. Number 1, don't blame the technical crew. Number 2, stay calm. And number 3, have a plan. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks for watching that video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, here's a link to some more. Please do subscribe because I'll be uploading videos weekly.